Now you're going to see how to use the demo Ableton project that I've created in order to interface with your iPad. And I have saved this project, it's called MIDI Ableton Set, as a supplementary resource with this lecture, so you can download it from this course and you can get a quick start. It's got 2 channels, from iPad and to iPad. So let's just create a simple clip here. I'm going to add in a single measure of notes. I'm just creating something to create MIDI output. I'm going to go ahead and make my MIDI output channel set to MIDI-LE USB destination. This is using the MIDI desktop component. And I'm going to send this out on channel 12. Now, on my iPad, I'm going to open up MIDI Bridge. And you're going to see that your MIDI Bridge icons are already showing a connection between MIDI-LE USB and MIDI Bridge. The line may not be there. If it's not, you should at least see the MIDI-LE USB flashing like this. Now if you tap the MIDI-LE USB source, so it lights up, and then you also tap the MIDI Bridge, it'll create a green line between them. And now you can see that MIDI Bridge is receiving that information. What this basically means is that the MIDI emitter application is forwarding all of the MIDI that it's receiving over USB and Lightning from the desktop to the MIDI Bridge app. Now the nice thing about the MIDI Bridge app is that the MIDI Bridge app can then be used by other apps on your iPad as kind of a single source. I prefer this approach for one primary reason. I can set up all of my apps to connect to MIDI Bridge, and it doesn't matter so much if the USB cable fails or becomes disconnected in the middle of my performance. Sure, the MIDI will stop, but it doesn't screw up my MIDI configurations in the apps. So it's great to just have one hub where I know all of my MIDI is supposed to be coming from. Okay, now let's open up MIDI Patch Bay, and we're going to go to Setup, and we're going to make sure Master 1 input device is set to MIDI Bridge. Good. And channel is set to 12. That's what we set as the output back in Ableton Live. So now we have all of our software and apps configured correctly. And in the next lecture, we're actually going to create a song file in MIDI Patch Bay and see how we can send MIDI back and forth between Ableton and the iPad in a really productive way for our live performance. So I'll see you there.